Welcome back to Switches, Tips, and Knobs, where I flip them, twist them, and poke them for my pleasure. I'm going to sound weird because I am allergy sick. I have got hay fever, ragweed fever, whatever you want to call it. It's the thing during the spring where all this stuff builds up and clogs its passageways and you can't breathe and you feel like you're dying for 4 weeks straight. That shit. Anyways, today, I'm gonna do something that could be considered sacrilegious by some, and what others might consider to be a necessity. For a while, let me just start by saying I got my first Gibson Les Paul about 2 years ago. Like exactly 2 years ago. No, it doesn't really matter. That's not important. Anyways, for someone my age, growing up, as a musician 20, 25 years ago, you always wanted, well, some of us, I always wanted a Les Paul. A Gibson Les Paul has been like my dream guitar my entire life. And I got my first one not that long ago. And without a doubt has been my favorite guitar overall since. The yellow telly they're like neck and neck. I mean, they're just amazing guitars. Of course, my two cheap Ibanez's, they're still up there. I have a lot of favorites, that's all I'm trying to say. Anyways, after having several guitars, experiencing different pickup types, different pickup sounds, I got to the point where playing my Gibson was like, why doesn't it sound as good anymore? And I kind of got to a point where, I've done this with several guitars where it just gets to a place where the guitar just no longer inspires me. And it was kind of upsetting that a guitar that I've wanted my entire life can do that. I mean, if I come and I sit down and practice, whatever you want to call it, if I start with that guitar, then I don't have that sonic tonal difference thing that bothers me. But if I sit down and I play one of the other ones first, especially the Phoenix or the Telly, who have high output pickups, hot high output pickups, and then play my Gibson, then it throws me off. It's like all of a sudden this guitar doesn't sound as good anymore. So it's 100% one of those things where it's just what you've done for today or what the room sounds like for the day. Which, by the way, when you're sick with this crap, you get drainage and stuff from your ears, which will also change your sound perception and make you not like things that you previously liked. Food for thought. But anyways, I decided that I wanted to put a different pickup in my Gibson. And for the longest time, I argued with myself that I was going to put a Gibson pickup back in it because I wanted to keep it original or whatever. And one day I just quit caring about that. So I'm going to put this Zebra Seymour Duncan JB in it. And that is going to create a little bit of an issue, just because my Les Paul is one of the PCB Les Pauls. So, and I'm too impatient to order one of the adapter harnesses and do it that way. So I'm going to go online and find wiring diagrams and use some heat shrink and just do it myself. Plus, I don't want to spend money on the harness. It's mostly just because I'm impatient. But I get out my Gibson and we'll do little sound samples first. I'm pretty sure it has the stock 490 pickup in it. And we'll do like a sound comparison before and after. Or maybe, because I might screw that up too. Anyways, we'll be back. Alright. Oop. Pardon. This is my 2022 Gibson Les Paul Tribute in Cherry Burst, I think. Cherry Sunburst. Whatever. I don't care. No, this is not the color that I would have picked. Or even a tribute model for that fact. For that matter of fact. Whatever. No, this is not the color of this guitar that I would have picked if I'd had the funds when I got it. Been poor nearly all of my life, so when the opportunity rose to buy a Gibson at, a regular guitar's price, I bought this one, and I have not been disappointed with it at all, until recently, like I said. And this guitar does have some bumps and bruises and blemishes, and I have put every one of them on it. Some of my other guitars have had some stuff from the factory. If you've watched some of the other videos, and you might know that if you hung around and watched long enough. I don't know if it'll pick it up, but there are some chunks of finish missing off of this part of the guitar there, and a few here as well. And those are all from the arm of this chair. It's worn down some finish on the horn right here, on the outside of the horn, cutaway, whatever you want to call it. And I'm pretty sure that's it. It's got some finish wear around the top side here where your arm sits. And none of that makes me love this guitar any less. None of the regular Gibson bullshit makes me love this guitar any less. As a matter of fact, just to clarify, if I'd had the money and I could go get whatever Gibson I wanted, I would go get the Gibson Les Paul Studio Modern in wine red. The one with the black nickel, black chrome hardware, the bridge and the tailpiece and the pickups, it's all black chrome or black nickel or whatever they're calling it now. No neck binding, and the furniture is black. That's not what that stuff's called. These are pickup rings. That's pickguard. That stuff is black. To me, that specific Les Paul Studio with those colors is perfect. For me, for my taste. That whole wine red color on a guitar is quite literally the reason why I painted the GR 330 in a wine red. I'm getting sidetracked here. Anyways, we're going to do some before tones. Got Logic set up here. And then we'll get started tearing it down. Or not tearing it down, but I guess open her up. Open it up. This guitar, by the way, his name is James. And I know that may be kind of weird for some people, for a guy to have a guitar with a guy's name, but my best friend, his first reaction to seeing this guitar when I brought it home was that it looked like James and the Giant Peach. So this guitar's name is James. And as usual, I did not press record. It's probably time for some new strings too. Well, it doesn't seem to matter what I do with this camera. Every time I use it, it's going to turn off or die while I'm recording. Maybe it's just time for a new camera. Somebody want to buy me a camera? No, I don't blame you. Okay. I don't know where that cut off at exactly. I will let that play out so that at least the audio will be there. I guess it's time to open it up. Let's see what happens. Should probably quit doing that. I mean, most people have seen plenty of videos of opening these cavities up, right? I don't need to go over that. I mean, I will if you want me to, but I don't think it's been done. It's been covered. Got it. Okay. So, this is the PCB Gibson. And this does not have the quick connect plug-in connector. I think I already went over that, but I have a tendency to repeat myself. I also have kids, so I have a tendency to repeat myself. I'm also married, so I have a tendency to repeat myself. I guess you could call those dad jokes. Terrible. I think these are getting stiffer. I don't know if we will need these, but it came with new screws and springs. Set that aside. That was a bad idea. I literally just threw that and hit every guitar in the rack. That's why I don't go out much. So, what I found on the good old interweb, if I could find it, there it is. Does anybody else hate having to upgrade to an operating system that you don't want? Yeah, we won't get into that, because I'll get off on the conspiracy theory shit and we'll just be here all day. I really don't know how to read wiring diagrams. Well, that's odd. Some of the pole pieces are lower. Oh, we may have to get into some fine tuning, because those don't look anything like, or maybe it's the, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Seymour Duncan, black and white. Oh, okay, so red and white on a Gibson is, oh, well, if I would just look at the whole thing and read it. So on the Gibson pickup, red and white are for top coil, and green and black are for the bottom coil. And on a Seymour Duncan, Seymour Duncan, yep, the top coil is black and white, and the bottom coil is red and green. I bet we can make this work, but I'm gonna have to take the strings and everything off, which it's due for a set. These are the strings that came on it. They're not in bad shape. I don't know what kind of strings they are, but they've lasted this long. They're not all rusty or grimy or anything like that. Shame to cut good strings. Let's do it. And I know it's been proven that like cutting the strings does nothing to the guitars, and they're both sides of the aisle on that argument as well. I'm not going to take that chance with this guitar. My Telly? Sure. Ibanez? Sure. Phoenix? Sure. Any of my other guitars I've had? Sure. Not this one. Gibsons have a reputation. We're just going to take all the tension off, like when you go to one of them Asian massage parlors. And then, even though we took tension off, I still recommend using a towel of some sort, placing over the strings, like so, just like you would put something heavy and loose over your winch cable if you're a 4x4 guy. Because when you're winching, and you don't want that cable to snap, and if it does, you want something on there to take up the whip out of it. And that's what we're doing. I'm feeling a little emotional right now. This is the first time I've changed strings on this guitar. Me and this guitar have spent several hours a day together with these strings. And it's kind of like a moment. Did you catch that reference? That's not an Epiphone. That is crazy. That weighs nothing. This is the tailpiece stop bar. This piece on every Epiphone guitar that I've had, even this style of setup, like on the Phoenix, this piece is heavy. This thing weighs nothing. Like that's crazy. Got some of that good stuff here somewhere. Like anybody wants to watch me do this. especially like that over the shoulder kind of out of frame view. Like I'll go over here, do it off camera, make it even weirder, get out of frame to where you can't even see what I'm doing, and I just tell you what I'm doing. Like some of those, who remembers Stacy David's Gears? We all thought that guy was doing that work. Until we got older that we realized that Bill Dance wasn't really catching them fish. There's a guy underwater putting that fish on that hook. Bill Dance would pass him a 20. He picked that fish up out of the water. I'm just kidding. That's not true at all. Right. We're taking the pickup out. I don't know what it means, but the pickup cavity that this came out of, it says LPTK. Trogley, what's that mean? After putting the pickup into the guitar, I realized that I don't want to be soldering over the guitar itself. So I took the pickup back out, and I've got a little set of alligator clip helping hands here. I have my end piece of the original pickup pigtail with the quick connect on it stripped and ready to go. Now I'm doing the same thing to the Seymour Duncan pickup, and basically all I'm doing is making sure that I have the same amount of length on the leads. That way when I twist them together, they are equal length. I don't know if that matters. I don't know if it's better or worse. I had a guy that I worked with one time tell me this thing that they called the Southwestern Bell twist or something like that, and it's you have to have 7 wraparounds on each side. Like, you don't just put the 2 wires together and twist them like this. You put them over and then lay them down and then wrap it so many this way and so many this way. I don't know if any of that makes a difference. I've never done it, and I'm too impatient. Could also call me too lazy to do that. So I am just going to twist them together the long way and solder it. And I think, it being soldered kind of negates the whole however many wraps you do. On our pigtail, that's what I'm going to call this thing. It's pigtail, even though they both could be. Technically, this is a wiring harness because it has a connector on it. We're going to set that up. Alright, so the Gibson, we want red and white. To be mated to Seymour Duncan is black and white. and we're going to put red to black and white to white. Okay. And this is what I mean when I say we're going to twist them the long way. So, I don't know if you can see that there. Basically, the sheathing that I've cut off of both ends is about equal. We're going to put them almost end to end like this, and then twist them this way, and then solder it. Oh, don't forget your heat shrink, kids. That's almost not enough. It'll be fine. We can make it work. Well, that didn't work. For some reason, they just scooted away from each other. Try it one more time. And I got a feeling this is going to get harder as we move along, because the more of these we connect, the less room we're going to have. So we've got that one ready to go. Don't forget our heat shrink. And again, we're on the north coil, and we've got black to red and white to white. And it is already more difficult because I can't freely twist the pigtail anymore. Doesn't have to be perfect because I am going to solder it. Alright, so there's that. We're going to set this up in here, just like so. I'm going to grab our soldering iron, which should be blistering hot at this point. And a little steel wool to clean the tip. Just the tip. And we're going to make a mess. There's one. Probably shouldn't breathe this. Probably shouldn't be doing this in front of camera equipment and monitors and microphones either. But I am. It also probably doesn't help that I'm already fighting this and now I'm breathing that. But whatever. I'm not going to burn that with the soldering iron. I'm going to get a lighter. Good old trusty pickle of fire. And move that down into place. Don't play with fire, kids. Don't do this at home. I think our heat shrink might be the wrong size. That's lovely. But you can always take it and smash it before it burns you, and it will stay in place. It's fine. Alright, we got the north coil done. And I don't understand why this, why they would wire it like this, with the coils having, this seems like it would be set up for split coil, but those pots that are in that Les Paul, they don't do anything. So I don't understand why there's everything separate. You know, why there aren't two leads together and then you just have a hot and a cold, or hot and a ground, or whatever. Alright. So, the Gibson, green and black here on our pigtail. and the Seymour Duncan. I did it again. Seymour Duncan. That's fine. We're going to put the green on the Gibson to the red on the Seymour Duncan. At least that's what this wiring diagram page from Seymour Duncan says. Okay, and that only leaves us with black on the Gibson and green on the Duncan. And we're going to, oh, look at me, forgetting steps. I do that. It's not intentional. It's a condition I was born with, called, I don't give a shit. That's not true. It's called ADHD, and there's not a lot I can do about it, because I will forget things 5 seconds after you tell me. But the other end of that spectrum is that 10 years from now, if it's brought up in conversation, I can remember exactly and word for word quote it to you. A useless talent, unless I was a lawyer or, some profession where that would come in handy. But I have been called a trove of useless information, which is fair, rude, but fair. Okay. Now, I'm going to see how much more I can screw this up. Because if I can, I will. Oh no. That is a huge glob that I do not want on there. That's still a glob, but not as bad. The Globosaurus. Okay. Now we're going to install our oversized heat shrink. And reintroduce the pickle of fire. And smash like the Hulk. Alright, now we're going to get rid of this because it could be considered contraband or make you an accessory to arson. We are going to check. We're in. And now I'm just going to plug this in to the PCB and find something metal to rub across there to make sure we are properly connected. Uh-oh, volume switch. Fantastic. Now, I I guess we can turn off the soldering iron before someone gets burnt unnecessarily. Just for sake of tidying up, I am going to use a little electrical tape and secure all those together. Even though that heat shrink is oversized, I think smashing it and making it like glue itself to itself around the solder is enough to keep it from sliding out of place. So I'm not real worried about, I want to say cross-contamination, but I know that's not. Short-circuiting cross-contamination. It fits. And if it fits, it ships. It's just a fail-safe on a fail-safe, right? I really hope this sounds good. If it doesn't, I'm going to be so upset, because pickups are not one of those things that you can just return once you've, installed them. Although it is a Seymour Duncan JB, so the likelihood of it not sounding good is very low, unless I have somehow out of phased it, which some people like that, I guess. I don't think I do. Well, I might, I don't know. The things that I like change often. I always try to find the same grooves, especially on something like this, because if you have to do it multiple times, you could strip out the hole. Oh, I'm excited! I'm excited! Excited, Jane! Since I'm putting all this back together, something is probably going to go wrong, and I'm going to have to take it all apart again. Story of my life. I was working on my best friend's truck, one of my best friend's truck, replacing head gaskets, and got it all done, and he got halfway home before we realized that I forgot to tighten down the harmonic balancer bolt. I didn't do it on purpose. This thing just happens to me. It's part of ADHD, I guess. I forget the important thing at the important moment. I also have a tendency to grab hot pans even though I know they're hot. And I'll go, ah, motherfucker, that's hot! And I'll still grab it. My mom's been making fun of me for it for 40 years. Yes, kids, I am that old. Which some people go, you're not old. And I guess it's all perspective. This is what I'm putting back on there because it's what I like. And when I measured these with my digital caliper, these are the sizes that it mic'd at. Mic'd at? Calipered? Okay. I used that thing and matched the numbers. Measure twice, cut once. I'll tell you how often I get that wrong. Not today, Satin. Gone. Yeah, we're tuning this to drop A with a 46. Just kidding. I really dislike this camera. Take care of your body, kids, because certain things can happen to you, and then bending over is hard. All right, we did it. I am going to string stretch and tune, and I'll be right back. I did it. We're back. Pickup is installed. We're tuned up. Everything's checked. Still didn't hit record. Seems less muddy, I think, in the room. I like it. I'm digging it very much. I like it very much. I keep hitting the microphone with the guitar. I could not be happier with that. I mean, it looks. I mean, I didn't think that I would like. There's like this originality, snobbish Gibson guy thing that, oh, it's not original, it's been molested or whatever, it's less of a guitar. And there's part of me, openly admitting this, there's part of me that does that when it doesn't match. It's like putting those really fat, stupid wheels on your work truck. Anyways, I did not think that I would like, and I do. I think that looks flippin' sweet. I don't know if I'll ever put a different neck pickup in it, but for the time being, that was well worth it, and I can't believe I didn't do it sooner. Anyways, if you made it this far, let me know if you thought there was a difference, and if so, if you liked it or not. If you want to come back for more next time, you can hit the button. You don't have to. You could do the thumbs up thing. That would help me. I really do think that I want to do some sort of guitar or gear giveaway at 1,000 subs. So tell your friends,